What's up, everyone? Today we have the notorious Nefarion fight that we are going to highlight. This is just a quick little video of how my guild handles this really annoying fight. A couple things off the bat. Platforms are marked and then markers are placed on top of players heading to that platform because, let's face it, we've all been turned around in the middle of a fight and end up going to the wrong place. Diamond is The diamond marker is whoever DPS is going to be stacking on in phase 3. You can mark whoever you want, but we mark the two tanks and then the DPS stack. Our comp for this fight is tweaked throughout Cataclysm, but we always look for the simplest solution, and I feel like we have found that. So we go with 2 tanks, 3 healers, and 5 DPS. Solely because the third healer is going to be the pocket heal for the ads tank and follow him around the room. And with 6 DPS, our normal group was hitting crackles in roughly 5 seconds apart, which was getting a little rough on the healers after crackle 3 and 4. Phase 1, Onyxia is back to life again, but this time she's just Nefarion's pawn. Off tank is going to drop down, pulling Onyxia to the red X over by the blue platform, turning her so that she's facing blue, and as you can see, I am taking all the ads at the exact same time. We found this was easier to do since they naturally come over to the healers anyway, but this lets me have all of them in one spot when we phase so I can easily grab them and start kiting. In the ad phase, you have to make sure that you have interrupts on all 3 platforms. Blast Wave will very quickly wipe a raid, especially if you have DPS that are hitting Nefarion in this phase and push a crackle out. Again, we have 3 healers, so having a healer on each platform makes the damage from the ads and the barrage of fireballs from Nef really manageable. Ad phase, the main tank is going to drop down off his platform and start building as much threat as possible on Nef, and then drag him to the yellow star on the ground and turn him so he is either facing green or purple. They will stay here, and DPS will burn Nef, stacking on his side to avoid the Dragon Breath and Tail Swipes, and I grab all the ads. Now the fight starts. This fight will be won or lost by your off tank. Managing ads and fire is the key to winning this fight. As you can see, they are a little bit annoying. I can hit them right off the bat, and I don't know if it's just healer threat or what it is, but sometimes when they first wake back up, it's like they have a hiccup of time where they are completely invincible. Nothing works. So what I do is I keep moving once I have them. So the fireballs will land behind the ads, and I only stop when I notice one of the ads have dropped off and ran out of energy. I walk backwards for the sole reason of my mitigation is always in play and while I'm facing the ads. If I'm losing threat, you can see my threat add-on there, my threat bars there. Some of them turn yellow, so I know I'm losing threat on those mobs. I try and target them and get a swipe or a mangle on them as quickly as possible. And if I lose one and it turns red, I immediately target and taunt as quickly as I can. I don't want it running back to the raid. Again, this fight is won by your off tank and the ad management. So it does get crazy, I know, moving backwards and constantly shifting around and trying to rotate your camera and dodge fire and everything. But in the video, you might be wondering why we really don't show Nef. And the truth is, he is not the focus of this last phase. It's just a tank and spank. So you have 2 healers that are over there focusing on the raid and the main tank. It's just a tank and spank at that point for Nef. The ads are the worst part of this fight, and that is what is going to decide if you win or lose. There are tweaks that you can make throughout the fight. Some people will attack Nef as soon as he drops down in phase 1. They'll jump off of Onyxia and over to Nef, and they will push out a crackle or 2, taking him down to 80% and then turning back to Onyxia. If you do this, just make sure that you have Onyxia down before her energy bar hits 100. If she hits 100, she's going to do raid-wide damage and kill everybody in one shot. There's no avoiding it. Another option is in the ad phase in phase 2, you turtle the DPS on your platforms and solely focus on interrupts and just kind of dragging it down as slow as possible, and your ranged is attacking Nef the entire time. This is an option because we run third healers or a third healer, and it makes that damage that would be wiping out that entire platform without one really manageable. The damage from the ad is super small. It's really negligible. We usually have a DPS that can face tank that ad and really not worry about it. But having a third healer to deal with the crackles is where that becomes viable. He can get everybody back up, and then they can push another crackle, and then we're good to go. Um, with this strat, we have been able to plug in new people, and so you really don't need a whole ton of DPS. You can see we're still 3 minutes out, over 3 minutes out from the enrage timer, and so it makes it really easy. You just have to manage the ads in the fire throughout the end of the room. As you can see, fireballs start coming out faster the longer the fight goes on, which can get a little hectic, but it just makes this so much easier to deal with. So I really hope this guide helps and just kind of gives you an idea of how I deal with the ads as the off tank for our group. And thank you guys very much. I'll see everybody in raid.